Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, the 3rd day of March. Today is National Anthem Day. I'll stand for that.
Absolutely.
National Cold Cuts Day. A good old cold cut sandwich. You just, it's hard to beat that. It's also National I Want You to Be Happy Day. For me, that's every day, Heidi. I always want you to be happy.
Yeah,
It's also National Mulled Wine Day. What is mulled wine? Must be a certain kind of wine.
I don't know, yeah.
I have to mull that over. And then it's also a Soup It Forward Day today. I don't know what that means. I think that means
You make soup and then share it?
Oh,
I do
yeah.
that a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you send soup home with a friend of ours like every day.
I do.
No, not
All
every
the
day.
time.
Every time we make soup, you're like,
I do.
hey, take some soup. He's like, what is this? It's also a Tuesday, so we have Tuesdays with Charlie. That's all on the way, too. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you should consider joining us for this amazing vacation.
My wife and I have been to this event the last 3 years, and we've had a blast.
Join us at the Sands.
Hear amazing music from Billy Idol,
Cheap Trick,
Belinda Carlisle,
Little River Band,
The Hooters,
Tesla,
Howard Jones,
and many more.
plus meet awesome stars from movies and TV.
It's the best week ever.
Learn more right now at thesands.rocks.
That's thesands.rocks.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. I think we could spend a lot of time on this survey if we really wanted to, but a survey by Green King found that 51% of employers still judge their applicants by appearance. I think the answer is actually much higher than 51%. I think a lot of people weren't being honest. Because if you're trying to hire somebody to be your receptionist and a person comes in that's, looks like they would be a very poor receptionist, that reflects badly. Mm-hmm. So as much as they want to say, no, I give everybody, you certainly do. You probably sit and listen to them and talk to them, but make a split second. Yeah, it's called a first impression. Yep. You make a first impression within a second of meeting somebody. So
make a good first impression. It's so
Even those of you who are saying to me right now, don't be so judgmental. I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying the honest truth is, you do. So, again, it's why it's important to, at least try, control the things you can control. There's some things you can't control. We understand that. But the things you can, control that. I'm going to move on now. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Not all credit cards are created equally. Some cards have higher rates, some have annual fees, some are just not very good. Often people will sign up for these because that's all they qualify for. But if you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation can change. Then you could qualify for a better credit card, one that offers you a better rate, or one that offers miles, points, cash back, or whatever is the best fit for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Munchies put this guy in a sticky situation. Talking about syrup here. They should have probably put that first in the story. Because you don't understand the sticky situation until after. Maybe if I read that at the end. I don't know. Either way, police pulled over 41-year-old Parma Heights man. They stopped him because they saw him weaving on the road. He said, no, I have an excuse. I was eating pancakes.
Oh, my God.
They said they smelled pot rolling out of the vehicle.
Eating pancakes behind the wheel of the car.
They found marijuana in his jacket. He acted really surprised. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. I was just driving around eating pancakes. Who does that? He was given a warning for eating pancakes while driving, and they confiscated the marijuana. So, that's a sticky situation. See, now does that make more sense now?
Yeah. It's still not any funnier, though.
Okay. Well, but that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Chris Pratt is letting fans in on a big secret, Heidi. The title for the third Jurassic World film. The upcoming sequel in the rebooted franchise will be titled Jurassic World Dominion.
I had no idea they were even doing another one.
The title was revealed on the first day of filming by Pratt. He did that on social media. I don't know if he was supposed to, because it almost seems like he wasn't supposed to.
I'm sure it wasn't an issue.
But then again, that could be why they did it that way, so now we're talking about it. Because if they would have just put out a press release Maybe not. Psychological thriller Invisible Man was number one at the box office over the weekend. Did you even know that was a thing?
I did. I've seen like park benches and stuff all over the place with that branding on it.
Invisible Man stuff? Okay. It says earned $29 million in the debut weekend. Coming in number two, Sonic the Hedgehog, $16 million. Still did really, really well. And I've got, for our Movie Star Monday next week, one of the stars of Sonic the Hedgehog. Super excited for that. That is awesome. I'm still working out all the details, but that's pretty darn neat. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Drinking too much can ruin your life. Alcohol and drug issues can cause problems at work, at home, and pretty much everywhere. If substance abuse has taken over your life and you want to quit, there is help. TimeForRehab.com could be the first step in the right direction for you. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find a new life beyond addiction. Your insurance company may even cover the cost to help make this happen. You can learn more now at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Get ready for it this Sunday, Daylight Savings Time.
Oh, that's right.
This Sunday, March the 8th. It started in 1918 as a way to conserve energy during World War I, following the lead of both England and Germany. But why do we switch at 2 a.m.? According to the book Spring Forward, the annual madness of Daylight Savings Time starts on Sunday, March the 8th at 2 a.m., and they chose that as a time that would interrupt the least amount of train travel around the country. So back in the day, they were like, okay, we got to figure out how we're going to do this. So that was why. A new book claims that Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has his armpits blow-dried right before an important speech. Puts them up.
Are you kidding me?
I never thought of that, but boy, I kind of think I want to do that now.
I'm not blow-drying your armpits.
Heidi, come on. Come on.
Not happening.
I got all kinds of dumb things I want to say, but I'm going to just move on. Police in Troy, Michigan were called to a McDonald's at about 3 a.m. February the 15th for a report that there were people sleeping in the drive-thru. When they got there, they approached two separate vehicles, found both drivers asleep at the wheel. The drivers did not know each other, and both admitted to having a couple of drinks. Why would they have both chosen to sleep in the drive-thru at a McDonald's at 3 a.m.? I could see pulling into a parking lot somewhere. That would make sense. But talk about drawing attention to yourself. I'm going to just park and sleep in the drive-thru lane? Bad.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. Research shows that watching a curvaceous woman can feel like a reward in the brain of men. So, I'm not sure. I think that what really happened is somebody was just, watching things that they shouldn't have been watching, and when they got caught in the room, they're like, no, I'm just doing a study. Here's the report right here. This is what I was working on.
How curvaceous?
Don't write me up.
Are we talking overweight curvaceous, or are we talking just like...
That's the extent of the study that I have. That's all the info I have, because, again, I don't think it was a real study. And if it was, I don't think that they needed that study. A prominent animal psychologist was conducting a study that proves dogs can experience actual love towards humans. Again, who needed that study? We already knew that.
Right.
Give your dog a treat. You'll see that dog loves them.
Oh, yeah, they just love you so much.
And our dogs, we've got two dogs. This is my wife that works with me here. Our dogs love me way more than they love her.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, exactly the opposite of that. No, they do. They love you so much. We could be snuggling and having the most fun ever. Just they'll be like wagging. I'm talking about me and the dogs.
Oh, okay.
They be wagging their tail. You walk in the room and instantly I'm like chopped liver. They're just gone. What did you think I was talking about?
I didn't know where you were going with this. I was like, okay.
And one last story here. Health officials are warning of a second strand of influenza that is spreading across the country, so be careful for that. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
Introducing InsuranceChicken.com. Why InsuranceChicken.com? Why not? Another insurance company has a duck, one has an emu, and that other company has a lizard. So InsuranceChicken.com is no more silly than any of those. Is it time for you to cross the road for your insurance? Don't be chicken. Check out InsuranceChicken.com. We'll help you peck out the best insurance rates we can find at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for this little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello. Did you just ask Fluff if she could hear me?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure she could hear you okay as well.
And she said, "Who's that?"
Yeah, pretty much. She's like,
I said I can hear him fine.
She said, I don't listen anyway. Does it really matter?
I don't pay any attention anyway. Why do I need to hear it?
So what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Hey, you like Halloween.
I do.
Yeah.
Halloween's it's a fun one, yeah.
You know that Americans spend an estimated $9 billion on Halloween?
Holy cow.
That's a lot, yeah.
We don't contribute much to that number.
No, we really don't.
That's a lot of candy.
It is.
It's
Hey,
probably
then,
between candy and costumes and decorations
yeah, everything.
and
Sure.
Yeah.
I always go naked so I don't have to spend money for a costume. I don't get much candy that way either, though. Hey, then did you know that you typically only breathe out one side of your nostril at a time?
Really?
Really?
Didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that.
We're all paying attention right now to see which nostril we're breathing in and out of, though. I think it's my left.
There's a reason I don't go on cruise ships. You like cruise ships?
No.
Never been on one.
You know why I don't like them?
Why's
Why?
that?
Because they have their own morgue on there.
Oh, I
Well, they would
suppose.
have to.
They was planned for people to die.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not the plan, but it could happen.
Don't just throw them overboard and let the sharks eat them?
Probably not.
I would. He went overboard. I don't know. Did a cannonball. Hell, there he's gone. Hey, did you know a typical cow stands up and sits down 14 times a day?
Oh, wow, that's more than I do.
Once you get down, you don't get back up.
No, I just sit. I'm just wait right here.
Oh, hey, here's something stupid. Most of the stuff I give you is stupid, but this is another one. In ancient Greece, children of wealthy families were dipped in olive oil at birth to keep them hairless throughout their lives.
Oh, wow.
How does that work?
I don't know.
I would assume that oil just, clogs your pores?
No idea.
No.
Who
Hey,
knows
you
if
smell
it was a...
pizza.
I don't know that it necessarily worked, but maybe they just thought that it would. Who knows?
Well, that could be. I don't know. Hey, then IKEA, you know them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I read something else the other day, but I can't remember about them. But anyway, the IKEA catalog is the second most read book of all times after the Bible.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
And I think I read their catalog they print is like a gazillion copies every year or something.
Must be.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever even seen their catalog.
It's always on racks
I have
like inside
either.
the store.
Wow.
Well, hey, did you know that the thing you beat fish to death with is called a bonker?
That you beat a what to death with?
A fish.
I've
never beaten
never
a fish
seen
to death.
anybody beat a fish to death. Why,
that's 'cause you
why
gotta
would
have a
one ever
bonker.
need to beat a fish to death?
Got to climb in the water and hit them puppies.
Kind of takes the sport out of it.
You know, when I
doesn't
was a kid, we used to go fishing quite a bit. We usually used a rod and reel. Apparently, we were doing it wrong.
Well, see, that's because you didn't know about bonkers at the time.
Kind of want to get a bonker now just to try it.
Hey, then I got one last thing for you.
All right, what's that?
Actually, a two-part thing. It's one of these things that, if you care.
Okay.
I don't give a rat's, butt. But anyway, you can marry a dead person in France.
Oh my gosh.
How does that work?
Well, apparently only one party there has to say I do.
Oh,
Prenup.
I
get
don't
a
know.
prenup.
Hey, then, did you know that Gary Newman is older than Gary Oldman?
No, that's kind of funny.
Oh,
Gary Newman
cute.
is older than Gary Oldman. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, that's cute.
I didn't, but now I do. That's my favorite thing I learned from you today, Charlie.
Well, you wait 30 seconds, you'll forget the whole thing anyway. So.
Probably. Are you ready for a question from us?
You got one?
How many Americans are injured by refrigerators each year? Every year, how many Americans are injured by refrigerators?
2,300.
Oh, more than that, 29,000.
By refrigerators? What are they doing with them?
Don't know. 29,000 Americans are injured by refrigerators every year.
Well, there you go.
Whatever they're doing it wrong.
They're trying to get the ice out of the ice machine.
Charlie, it's always a pleasure. We'll talk to you again next week.
We'll do do her on a Tuesday, though.
Sounds good.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. Again, my father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you should consider joining us for this amazing vacation.
My wife and I have been to this event the last 3 years, and we've had a blast.
Join us at the Sands.
Hear amazing music from Billy Idol,
Cheap Trick,
Belinda Carlisle,
Little River Band,
The Hooters,
Tesla,
Howard Jones,
and many more.
Plus, meet awesome stars from movies and TV.
It's the best week ever.
Learn more right now at thesands.rocks.
That's thesands.rocks.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Chinese police use geese squads. You might be familiar with police dogs, but they're police geese. As of 2013, 12 police stations in rural Chinese areas have begun using geese as sentries. Says they are alert animals. As you probably know, they can create a lot of noise and commotion, which creates Chinese law enforcement taking advantage. They decided to take advantage of that. It says this trend is yet to spread throughout other areas, but the geese have already stopped at least one theft. So they sick the geese on people. I don't know how it works.
Okay.
It's just an interesting concept.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It sure is.
Do these geese have little police uniforms, you think?
I don't know.
I kind of hope so. Thanks for listening to this very interesting fun fact.
Not all credit cards are created equally. Some cards have higher rates, some have annual fees, some are just not very good. Often people will sign up for these because that's all they qualify for. But if you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation can change. Then you could qualify for a better credit card, one that offers you a better rate, or one that offers miles, points, cash back, or whatever is the best fit for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world. Hey, guess who fixed that? Me. I typed it right now. So now I'm going to say it the right way, hopefully, from now on.
Okay.
Dateline, Nicaragua. Nicaragua's last newspaper, their final newspaper in the entire country, wrote a critical piece about the government. And guess what happened? The next day,
the paper was shut down.
Coincidentally, all of their ink and paper was gone.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's not good. I've got a link to that story. You can still read it online, even if you can't get a copy of the final Nicaraguan paper. It is in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Drinking too much can ruin your life. Alcohol and drug issues can cause problems at work, at home, and pretty much everywhere. If substance abuse has taken over your life and you want to quit, there is help. TimeForRehab.com could be the first step in the right direction for you. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find a new life beyond addiction. Your insurance company may even cover the cost to help make this happen. You can learn more now at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. What a bizarre story. What do you do when your employer eliminates your position? Well, you leave, right?
You have to leave.
But what happens?
Unless you're put somewhere else.
Here's what happened in this one. A former police chief in New Hampshire was let go. Well, he was wearing his police uniform. Mm-hmm. So they took his uniform. So he was stripped down to his underwear when he left.
Oh.
And he walked home in a snowstorm.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Richard Lee was a police chief in the town for about 20 years before he was stripped of his duties and of his uniform. It says a 3-person board voted to get the crime coverage solely from the New Hampshire Police Department. So they're saying, hey, we've got somebody else that's going to handle this now. We don't need you anymore. So he was part-time at this point, and he wasn't needed. They said, turn in your gun, turn in your uniform, turn in your keys, and your police cruiser. So there,
Poor
he
guy.
stripped
Holy
down,
cow.
no extra clothes, no ride home. He walked home in a snowstorm before his wife finally picked him up.
Oh, my gosh.
That is just such a crazy story. I've got a link to the by the way, everybody else said that was not necessary. We would have given you a ride, but he was going, I don't want your ride.
Yeah.
You just stripped me of my dignity and my job.
Exactly.
I'll walk home in a snowstorm. So I've got a link to the story, but it's definitely weird news.
Wow.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. A Florida man was arrested on felony battery charge after dumping a bucket of cow manure over the head of the victim.
Okay.
This is just a terrible idea. 47-year-old.
Let's hear him out.
No, here's what happened. 47-year-old Jose Ramirez Calijas attacked a victim at a dairy farm. It's like 30 miles north of Tampa. The complaint did not indicate whether he was working there or not, but he scooped cow manure into a bucket and dumped it over the victim's head. And they said that, yes, he admitted that he did douse the victim with cow manure. Police reported that there was a person there with cow manure on his forehead and his leg. This gentleman who was arrested is listed as a transient in the complaint. He was booked into the jail. So for whatever reason, doesn't really explain why, he just decided, I'm going to take that bucket, I'm going to scoop up that stuff, and I'm going to dump it on this guy.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but it's a weird story.
Yeah, it's hard for me to take a side unless I know what happened.
You always take the side of the guy who didn't break the law. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Introducing InsuranceChicken.com. Why InsuranceChicken.com? Why not? Another insurance company has a duck, one has an emu, and that other company has a lizard. So InsuranceChicken.com is no more silly than any of those. Is it time for you to cross the road for your insurance? Don't be chicken. Check out InsuranceChicken.com. We'll help you peck out the best insurance rates we can find at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? This is the point in the program where I read a story, and my beautiful bride Heidi over here has to tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it made up? Hashtag fake news, just to trick you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Fake news or Florida? West Palm Beach, Florida man arrested for reckless endangerment after he had his 10-year-old daughter drive him home from a bar.
Oh.
Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida because I could see that happening.
I could see it happen too, but thank goodness this time it's fake news.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
We read a story about that,
similar
though.
to that.
I don't know. Placed in another town.
Or it was in a different state even. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't make these up, Heidi. Don't blame me. You always get all judgy McJudgerton over there.
Cheating.
No. We got a link to that, by the way. It's in the show notes for today. Why would you need a link to it? There's not even a story. But there's still a link to it. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I actually read this story to my beautiful bride over here. I read this to you the other day when I first saw it, and it's been suggested that we share this for good news, and I'm going to now. Here's the headline. Police respond to a little girl's emergency call about her injured stuffed animal. So if you just hear the headline, you might think, whoa, what a waste of resources. I want to make sure I explain it, because a lot of people online, the place where I read it, they didn't read the story. They saw the headline, and they instantly started lashing out at the family, at the police officer, at everybody. We go from engaged to enraged in 1 second these days. Everybody take a deep breath and calm down. So here's what happened. This little girl had a cell phone that was one of her mother's old phones. Wasn't in service anymore. Wasn't being used, but they had downloaded some games to it. So she was using this for the games. The 6-year-old girl. Well, even a telephone that is not connected with service, you can still use it for 911.
Yep.
So her teddy bear, her little stuffed animal, got a scratch, and she dialed 911, not realizing that the phone was going to actually work.
Right.
When they answered on the other end, she hung up because she thought, oh, that wasn't good. Well, when the police got a call...
When they do, they show
got a
up.
Disconnect.
Yeah.
They figured out, okay, this is where this came from. They came to do a wellness check to make sure everything's okay. And the story is absolutely adorable because there's footage, like you can hear the audio of the police coming there. And, you know, it wasn't a waste of resources. It was the right thing for them to do. They showed up to make sure everything was okay. But instead of them scolding the kid and being mean, they were really nice. They put a Band-Aid on the little teddy bear. And they said, if mommy gets sick, please call us again. If grandma over here, if grandma gets sick, or if you get sick, call us again. But when teddy bear's not sick, you don't need to call us. Talk to mommy about that.
Right.
But it was so nice. But when you read the comments online, people who didn't even read the story went insane. It was, I think, a great story. What do you think, Heidi?
I think it's adorable.
I think it was too. I'm going to.
And I mean, they're going to show up if there's
Yeah.
a disconnect. They're going to show up because
They have
they
to.
don't know if somebody snatched the phone away from you.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have to come. So
It's a neat story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.